welcome back to After Hours Podcast. And my name is Yano, and I'm here with
Mike Watson.
Midori.
And what brings you guys to Blerdcon? What exactly? Can you tell us about what you have here in front of us?
Oh, well, we're a publishing house, Freestyle Comics, an independent comic book company. We've been around for about 20 years. We came to Blerdcon in 2019, haven't been able to get back, pandemic and stuff like that. So this is our first year back at the show to promote our new books, our new artworks and things like that.
Wow. How did you even get into the development process for everything? What started it all?
Oh, Marvel Comics told me no.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Back when I was touring at comic book conventions and doing portfolio reviews and trying to work for Marvel, because that's what I wanted to do. They would tell me things I needed to do to improve my stuff. I would wait in line 5 or 6 hours. Someone would review my portfolio, tell me to fix this, tell me to fix that. And I did that for about 2 or 3 years. And then 1 year in Chicago, they were looking at my portfolio, didn't have anything to say, told me to come to the back room, pulled me in the back room and was like, hey, I remember you. Looks like you've really been paying attention to what we've been telling you. Your work is really good. You're a good storyteller. You got some good camera angles here. And you're really good at action scenes. But your work is very urban, and that's not a style that Marvel Comics is looking for right now. So sadly, I'm sorry about that. And I was like, oh, okay, copacetic. And I left. And my mom has a rule that she taught me that you can only be in your feelings for 24 hours. And then after that, you need to get up and you need to figure out a new plan. So I was in my feelings for 24 hours. I got up, called my best friend. We talked on the phone for like 8 hours. Talked about everything from all angles and what to do and what I wanted to do, what I wanted to achieve. And I decided that since my style was very urban and that's all they told me, I was gonna draw my own comic books in my urban style. And I decided to base it off of myself because I wanted to be a superhero myself, because who doesn't? And based it off my life. In college, I went through some pretty depressing stuff. And I thought it would make a good story because I thought people would be able to relate to that story. And on that journey, I ended up meeting my brothers and meeting friends and colleagues and building up rep and falling on my face and getting up and falling again and getting back up. And here we are, making 14 different titles with 40 comic books in our 100-chapter story.
Wow. And the advice your mom gave you is really good advice as well. You know, have 24 hours to go through the process of dealing with it and then have a plan.
Yeah.
And it seems like it worked out for you, man. Do you have a favorite piece of work that you have?
Well, I don't. Right now, we're showcasing our flagship titles right now. Hotshot, he's a young man in college trying to prove to his ex-girlfriend he never cheated on her without revealing he's a superhero, but not get kicked out of college because he's never there because he's a superhero. Then we have 12 issues of Hotshot, and the new issue is sitting at my house right now because it was delivered hours after I left for Blerdcon. But it's there, it's at home. Hotshot number 12, y'all, it's coming as soon as I get back. Vigilance. Vigilance is the world's strongest superhero. She works for the government full-time with no secret identity, but she has amnesia and she's...
You do that every time.
Because you forget every time.
We can edit that out.
You forget every time. But she has amnesia and she's starting to realize the government's lying to her about who she really is. We have 4 issues of that. And then we have Emerald Quest. Emerald Quest stars Marky. Marky's a 15-year-old prodigy. She's the youngest general in the Queen's Army. Weapons, fighting, strategy, tactician, all types of things. When it comes to the battlefield, she is it. She has a very dark and mysterious past that holds the key to our world's future salvation. We have 3 issues with that. And all of our books are encompassed into one comic book universe.
Oh, nice.
We also have Heroes International, 5-Star, Spider Squirrel, Cypher, Concussion, which is our first horror story, Hotshot and Friends. So we have a bunch of different stories and they're all tied together.
I love the world building and the universe that's being built behind it. If you don't mind me asking, what exclusive, I forgot, exclusive, what is exclusively, like creativity wise, I apologize.
No.
Yeah, I forgot.
Was exclusive to Freestyle Comics?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so heavy for that, I mean, Hotshot is your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely in that way, you spend on that. That's
Well, Hot Shot is like exclusive
what's your
to me, but like
favorite?
That's
our
what-
favorite.
Yeah.
That's not a fair question.
Not a fair question.
Yeah, because I work on Hot Shot. But like I said, it's about me, so it's a very personal story. Like the main premise of the story is dealing with breakups. Like this isn't a spoiler, but Hot Shot and his girlfriend aren't going to get back together. It's a story about how do these people move on. They've both been devastated by the fact that this relationship has ended over a lie, and because he couldn't be truthful about what it really was, he let her assume it was something else versus just telling her outright he was a superhero. They're not going to get better, so get back together. So how do they move forward? And then we go from that to moving into how is he surviving school and his relationships. Again, we try to make these stories relatable. Our most current story arc is called Unforgiven. And part of Hot Shot's issue is he cannot control all of his powers. He doesn't know why, but subconsciously it is because he had childhood trauma in watching his stepfather beat his mother, and him being a little child not being able to do anything about it. So he doesn't know if he is a real superhero, because when there was a real situation to save somebody without powers, he fled. But now that he has powers, he's jumping in the face of danger. So subconsciously he can't put that together of is he really a superhero or not. And that's a challenge he has to face, because we introduce his stepfather back into his life. And if you saw your mother getting hurt as a child and now you're a grown man and you have superpowers,
It's over.
and you're able to rectify that situation,
For real.
spoiler alert, the fade gets run. It gets ran. This is like issue 12 is a double-sized issue. So Hot Shot's very, very special to me because it is me. Like I pour myself into that, but I also pour into Emerald Quest. Emerald Quest is based off my sister. I pour into Vigilance, and Vigilance is like a representation of my mom, my daughters, my wife, because like I want them to be able to see reflections of themselves in our books.
How did your family and community influence you and your decisions so that we could be here in this moment at Blerdcon 2024? How did that happen?
Because I'm a grinder, I'm a worker, and I go to comic book conventions all the time. I've been trying to get back into Blerdcon. Blerdcon is a very popular show, so it's hard to get into because like if you don't get in there early, these tables get snatched up.
Yeah, they do.
So it's just, you know, the more popular the show is, the harder it is to get into. But I've always wanted to return back to Blerdcon because our first year here was really, really great. And we're in the middle of this weekend. It's going good so far. But like, I like to be with the people. I like to talk to people. I like to pitch. I like to have them flip into the books. I treat comic book conventions not as like everybody likes to make money. We do want to make money, but for me, comic book conventions are a networking situation. I want to expand our audience. I want people to know who we are because nobody knows who I am until I speak up. That's why I speak to so many people when they walk past and talk to them because they don't know me and I need to give them a chance to know who we are.
How we
Absolutely.
met.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was just a regular cosplayer, 2019, Blerdcon, and saw him over here, Spider-Gwen cosplay. And
Yes, you was.
Man, he put me as Spider-Gwen.
That's so cool.
We're besties now.
Crazily
And
enough,
now I'm debuting his character.
it's a full circle. All of us really here at Blerdcon because we did see her for the first time here. This was my first show out of state, and then how I actually started cosplaying with him was a very interesting story. I was at a show with my father, and I always wanted to be a cosplayer, so you can say I manifested
I
it.
love your cosplay. by
Thank
the way.
you. Say I manifested it. I always looked up to cosplayers. It's really cool. I hear footsteps behind me, and in a full breath, I hear, I don't want to be weird, but I just want to say you're the perfect height for my character.
Disclaimer, I felt I had to hurry up and say it because her father is abnormally young looking. He is a vampire. I assumed it was her boyfriend. So I didn't want to trigger him and disrespect him by thinking I was trying to hit on her. And I was like, I gotta say it fast and I gotta get it all the way out so they know that like I'm not trying.
I was
So,
like, what? And so, crazily enough, he was like, can I tell you about her?
Oh, wow.
And ever since, I've been cosplaying for over 6 years now.
What did the story, just in case we can't hear.
Absolutely.
What did he say that in the story that absolutely drew you in and you had to be a part of it?
I think the coolest thing when I was able to cosplay at that time when I first had the opportunity, he said how the representation was there for his daughters.
No.
And the fact that I remember when I got my first sizing because I didn't make this outfit. So again, like I literally manifested this role to like cosplay. I didn't make the suit. They literally said the suit is ready for you. You come to the shows, you show up as her. And I remember the first time his daughter saw me in the suit, and their reaction is like, I think that's what they did. Because honestly, ever since, I was just like, I always think of that moment, and it's very humbling.
Awesome. And my final question, where can we find you and more of your work?
So you can go to our website, fsknow.com. You can get all of our books. We're currently stocked on everything because they're all sitting at my house. And then if you want to like get behind the scenes and get more information and get like closer with us, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/FScomics. We have a free level. We have a couple paid levels. We have a collector's level and things like that. But I'm updating it with like behind the scenes information about FSK, letting people vote on what our next covers are going to be, just involving you in the conversation of freestyle comics. So you can catch all of our stuff there or at any of the conventions we're going to. Next week, I'll be at Animate Columbus. The weekend after that, I'll be at DreamCon. 2 weeks after that, I'll be at AtlantaCon. The next month after that, I will be at Middletown Comic Expo. And then in December, I'll be at GalgaCon Columbus.
Wow.
So if you're going to any of those,
Yeah, see you there. All right. Thank you guys. I'm very, very, very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.